All day, every hour. I probably only had 15 minutes a day where I felt like myself, where I felt like I could function as a human being. Thank God that I am finally able to sit here and actually do what I love, talk to the camera, talk to you guys, film a YouTube video, because let me tell you that for the last 19 weeks of this pregnancy, I have not been myself. Oh boy, my first trimester was wonderful because blessings, but also very challenging and very, very hard. And so I want to talk about that. It'll probably help some people out there, or just comfort in knowing that some people have rough first trimesters, and that's normal. I definitely know that some of these videos helped me, and especially the ones that people were being real with on. So that's what I'm going to try to do here. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Daniela, and I do videos on wellness and organic eating. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and subscribe. But these days, these videos are a little bit different. I will be getting back to all the health and wellness stuff, but let me tell you, pregnancy has really rocked my world, and it has changed me. Not like literally changed who I am, but how I'm able to function, it's definitely changed that. But I'm telling you, I never thought I'd see this day where I'd be sitting here and finally talking to you guys about this, because it has been so rough. And I'll get into that. But first, I want to talk about preconception health. A lot of people don't know that, but prepping your body for pregnancy and for conception is super important. The way that your body is functioning, what state it's in 3 to 6 months prior to getting pregnant is really important, and it goes for the man as well. So I want to talk about a couple things that I did before that, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the symptoms that I had, my whole experience, and also what I did to help get through it. But we're going to start from preconception, so because it ties into how I felt later. So preconception, getting your body up to par with the nutrients that it needs to create life, and to create life in the best healthy way possible. So I started taking my prenatals 4 months before getting pregnant. I used the prenatals from Ritual. These have everything that you need when it comes to a prenatal. And also, it has folate in it, not folic acid. Folic acid is the synthetic version of folate. What you need is folate, not folic acid. A lot of doctors will tell you that you need folic acid. It's folate. And so Ritual has folate, vitamin D3, vitamin E, biotin, all that. And then it's super clean, no fillers, no synthetics. Awesome. For Ritual, I was taking the regular multivitamins before actually doing the prenatal. So that was a no-brainer for me. I'll leave a link down below. And then I also did trace minerals. These are really important just for the development of your baby, for yourself. It does prevent any malformations in your baby, just helps it develop perfectly. It also supports a healthy genetic formation and development. So trace minerals, I think, are also a great thing to do beforehand and during pregnancy. And then I also took liver pills by Ancestral Supplements. So these are packed with folate, packed with the enzyme that's really important for the baby's brain development, and just has almost everything that you need to prep your body for conception. With that being said, these vitamins helped me have a healthy developing baby and a healthy pregnancy. But I think that they were contributors to the amount of nausea that I had in my pregnancy because of the iron. So I had a little thing called morning sickness. It's actually a monster, okay? It was a monster for me. Morning sickness is a whole lie, though. It's fake news because it was all day, every hour. I probably only had 15 minutes a day where I felt like myself, where I felt like I could function as a human being, because it was really bad for me. So after I found out, I didn't really have any symptoms before finding out that I was pregnant. I found out just because I was late, 2 days late. I found out at 4 weeks and 5 days that I was pregnant. And at the 5th week mark, and a couple days, maybe like 2 days, I started getting nauseous. And my life was over after that. Oh my gosh. This nausea was so overpowering. I legit have a trauma response because every time I start to talk about that time and I say the N-word, Nausea, I get it. You know, like it's really bad. So if I say the N-word, it's because I can't say the word. Because the actual word makes you that. Do you know what I mean? Like the actual word, saying it, pronouncing it the way that it's pronounced makes you nauseous. Am I the only one? Yeah, so the whole morning sickness thing is a scam. It's an all-day thing, at least for me. Now, I'm talking about a very serious version of morning sickness, but I do know that some people actually have to get diagnosed with severe sickness, and I didn't get to that point, or at least I didn't allow myself to get diagnosed with anything. But it's like it just takes over your whole being. You can't do anything. I couldn't go into the kitchen. The thought of food, the thought of cooking, the thought of smelling food was just repulsive to me. I could not open the fridge door because the smell of the fridge, inside of the fridge, also made me sick, and it triggered me. I couldn't, taste garlic. Smoothies, I love smoothies, and every day I would have them. Every day of my life. Couldn't have them anymore. The vitamins, I had to drop. I actually meant to take a lot during my pregnancy. Had to drop down to this one. And even then, that one was hard to swallow. Very hard. Very, very, very hard. And the cherry on top, which actually this isn't even all of it, but this is just the beginning. But at 6 weeks, we went to Houston just for like a staycation. And I got food poisoning. Okay? Who would ever want food poisoning on top of already having pregnancy morning sickness? I did, though. I had it. Oh boy, that was a terrible time in my life. I felt so much guilt because you already feel so bad that you can't eat the way that you usually do. So that means that you're not really providing your body with the nutrients that it needs. Thankfully, though, and I think this really did come in handy, regardless of if the iron and all these vitamins made me more nauseous, because they say that iron increases nausea. I'm so thankful that I did do preconception health practices because my baby was getting from my reserve while I really could not eat the way that I used to. When I would make my own food at home, though, like my husband would make steak, I would be able to have it. And salad, I craved just like steak, salad, fresh things, nothing over the top, nothing with a lot of seasoning. But you already feel guilt because you can't, nourish your body the way that you used to. On top of me actually getting food poisoning, where I really can't even hold anything down, it was just a really, really bad time. And thankfully, I didn't really lose much weight. I started my pregnancy at 108. I've always been super thin. Not thin. I'm not really thin. Like, you look at me and you don't really think that I'm 108 or 110. I'm just short. But I have always been like 110, 111, around that range. I started my pregnancy at 108. Maybe dropped down those couple pounds because I was sick. But now it's been progressing fine and I'm gaining weight at a healthy pace. But I just had so much guilt. Whatever. So I got over the food poisoning. Still, I'm getting nauseous every day. Around the 7th to 8th week, I'm like, I need something to help this because it's not going away. When I tell you I would do ginger and tea, a lot of people say, buy the ginger candy. I didn't do that. But just ginger alone probably relieved me for a little bit. But nothing actually like amazingly worked. Like really nothing worked. I can go down the list of what they tell you to do. Drink a lot of water and lemon. It was hard for me to even drink water with flavor in it. Even water was hard to drink. Like I couldn't, there was a point where I smelled everyone's breath. I remember getting on a plane, where was it? To Utah for Christmas. And I remember I was like, oh, I'm smelling almost everybody's breath in this plane. I would smell people's, because the heightened sense of smell was also overpowering. Like, I feel like I was like the book version of pregnancy symptoms. Like, I am literally the cliche of all pregnancy symptoms. Like, I felt it all. It was really tough. But the only thing that helped me truly were Frida Mom pregnancy bands. So these are basically acupressure bands. And you put these on your wrist. So they come with a little case. And I will put this on my Amazon storefront. So I'm going to put everything that I can on my Amazon storefront. I just created one. So check it out down below. And I'll literally do that for all my health and wellness stuff. I actually created the Amazon storefront for my health and wellness stuff. But then I realized probably going to be put a lot of pregnancy stuff on there too. So you put it 3. So you just do 3 fingers. And then right here is usually the pressure point that helps relieve nausea. And I would put these on every single day for work. You know, you can't really overuse them, but I overused them. Not gonna lie. I would like relieve my rest of it here and there, but I would just wear them, the 2 of them. And these were the only things that actually helped relieve my nausea. For a moment, you know, like even then, I still felt it. And I remember talking to my cousin, and she was like, it's crazy that at 12 weeks, it'll miraculously go away, I promise. I mean, she didn't say like she promised or anything, but it was like, that was it for her. And it went away at 12 weeks in a day. It really did. The nausea was, after 5 weeks until 12 days, it was finally where I felt, oh wow, I can go about my day and actually feel okay, like to function. It was so bad. My first trimester, even like spending the holidays with my family, I hiked a lot. Like if I did not have the motion sickness, I keep saying motion sickness. If I didn't have the sickness, I would have been able to be physically active, would have been able to eat a lot better. I would have been able to take all the vitamins that I wanted to, but I just could not. It was just so overpowering. Like, oh my God. And then something else that helped me was peppermint oil. So I will sniff it and it really helped me. Or you get a roll-on. I got these from Amazon. I'll link them down below as well. And you can put them on your wrist and you can smell them throughout the day. That helped me. Peppermint really did help me. But let me tell y'all, if it wasn't for my husband, nothing would have gotten done. All those weeks, nothing would have gotten done around the house. Nothing would have gotten done, period. You know, and I pulled myself together when I needed to, but it was very, very hard and few and far between. Around 6-week mark, I started spotting. And spotting, it was not super, like period spotting. It was very light, and it was faded, and it was almost the color. Should I say that? That's probably TMI. Listen, it was not of concern, but I still was concerned because it was spotting. Like, anytime any spotting comes out of you while you're pregnant, you worry, you freak out. But there was something inside of me that told me it was nothing to worry about. So I remember going in for our 10-week appointment, which was our first appointment, to see the baby for the first time, to confirm the pregnancy and all of that. And they tell us that I had a vanishing twin. So my body was prepared to have a second one, a twin. And the yolk sac was there while our baby was like perfectly fine, growing. The yolk sac was still there where the embryo would have developed to have a twin. Now, I don't think it got to develop fully or develop at all, but the sac was there. And so I remember going to the appointment, And she asked me, have I been spotting? And I'm like, yeah, once in a while, but not too long, like not too much to worry about. And she was like, yeah, that happens. But they didn't really say anything yet. It was more because I thought that it was like maybe the implantation bleeding that was just a little bit late. I just thought that because when you look things up online, some things they tell you, oh, it's normal, or no, you got to call the doctor. You got to go to the hospital. Like it's either, it's so normal. Oh no, you got to go to the hospital. So it's like when you Google things too much, you go crazy. But I just was like, you know what? This is probably just spotting from my old implantation bleeding that never truly came out. And then I tell the doctor my second appointment that the spotting actually was happening now once a week. And they checked and my sac was still there at my second appointment. So they said that the spotting was just due to the sac still being there, and it kind of maybe just disappearing little by little. So I was just my body was getting rid of that yolk sac, which is kind of sad. Vanishing twin situation is kind of sad, but at the same time, the embryo really didn't get to develop. So I always knew, I was like, it would be me. It would be me to have a twin pregnancy. Not that I would have not wanted it or accepted it if I did have a twin pregnancy, but those are just really tough. And I wouldn't, it wouldn't be my number one choice to have a twin pregnancy. But if it would have happened, it's what God gave us, whatever. But, oh man, kind of relieved a little bit though that I didn't have twins. But the spotting was super unpleasant. So anxiety came from that. But thankfully that went away. So I have food poisoning. I have morning sickness every single day, all day, every hour. I was dealing with the spotting, was kind of stressing me out, but not really. I was just resting. We were avoiding any other physical activity just in case. But that finally went away too. Nausea finally went away. And then I get a really bad cold. And I'm just like, I should have seen that coming because I hadn't been taking my vitamins or eating properly my whole entire first trimester, because I was so nauseous and so sick every day. But it's one thing after another. I was just but you know what? Some things did help me kind of get through. And that is, one of the things was yoga. I did yoga when I felt okay. I used the Flow app, and the Flow app shows you what yoga sessions are appropriate for your week of pregnancy. So I did those, and I really enjoyed that time. Now I'm doing them more frequently, but that helped me. It's just one of those things, you got to get through it. And, sometimes you feel guilt because you're like, why do I feel so bad about myself when my body is supposed to be doing this? It's going through this because my body is literally creating organs and bones from midair, it's just crazy. It's an amazing and beautiful thing. So one side of me is kind of appreciative of the symptoms because it's letting me know my body's doing something amazing. It's working, it's functioning, it's doing what it's supposed to do. And there's also something to that where people say, if you have a tough pregnancy, you'll have an easy labor. I hope that that's the case for me. Maybe that's just a saying. I know it's not one size fits all. I know it's not black and white and everyone has a different experience. But I can see where there's truth in that, because when you go through a tough pregnancy, and I know that there's tougher out there, but when you go through some rough, symptoms, your body needs to have that mental fortitude to get through it. That really does prepare you for labor and the pain that comes with labor. So breathing through everything that I've been feeling has really helped me. And, funny enough, I've felt very down and frustrated about feeling a certain way, but I've kept it to myself and I haven't really let it overwhelm me, because I've also been at the same time very calm. I've been so into my body physically, paying attention to it and what's going on, that I wasn't really stressing about outside factors, things that I would stress about before pregnancy. I didn't have anxiety about whether I'm going to be a good mom or not, or the baby's going to be like, how's the baby going to live in this world or whatever. Like, I haven't had any negative thoughts, thankfully. And I don't know if maybe that's just because it's just how I'm approaching this pregnancy, because this is what I've always wanted. Or it's that I really just have been so into my physical that I have not had energy to be thinking in my mental, like, if that makes sense. So I don't know. It's a beautiful thing. It's been amazing, challenging, but worth it, especially now that I'm feeling better. So a couple of other things that I'm going to mention that I also purchased for my first trimester. I did start having a really early bump. Like, I had a bump early on. And that's because I feel like my body was prepared to have two. Also, I do have a short torso. I'm short. But I was showing pretty early, and a lot of it was bloating. But even after the bloating would kind of go away, I'm like, dang, I'm like showing really early. And a lot of people would tell me that, and I'm like, I feel like I probably shouldn't be then, because it's like, so people are like, oh my God, you're huge so early. But that's another thing I've kind of been thankful for. I haven't had a problem with it. I like it. Everything's normal. Baby is growing at a perfectly great pace. She's healthy and she's a healthy size. So I'm just showing, and I don't know, I kind of like it. So because of that, I started to use like belly butter and belly oils pretty early on. So one of the first things that I used was vitamin E oil. Vitamin E oil was good for my face. I started breaking out in my neck, and the vitamin E oil really helped take that away. I also put that a little bit in my belly and in the back. And then I also got this belly oil from Glory. I don't know. It's Dana Chanel's brand. I'll link it down below. It basically just has it has sunflower oil, grapeseed oil, jojoba, camellia, and rosehip. So that has helped me, and it has lasted me a long time. I know a lot of people use bio oil, but I feel like that bottle's so small, I wouldn't want to have to repurchase again and again and again. So, this might last me until the beginning of my third trimester probably. And then I also got belly butter from Earth Mama. This one's a really good one to put on top of your oils. So I just kind of put that all over and in my back, in my hips, and I also put them all over my breasts, okay? And honestly, stretch marks are genetic. So even sometimes doing these things don't prevent stretch marks. So I don't want to mislead anyone into thinking that that's going to save you from getting stretch marks, but it's because it's genetics for the most part, and diet. Genetics, I honestly think, because what people have eaten in your family, the moms in your family, what they have eaten and all that. My mom did not have any stretch marks, so I have some hope there, but if I do, it's a part of it, whatever. I do have a couple, like a little bit in my hips. But other than that, like she didn't have any in her belly, so we'll see. But I like that. I like to have that time for my self-care. I put oils all over my body anyways, so I do that for my belly, and it's just kind of like that time for myself with my baby and my body, and I love it. To make sure that I was drinking water, I got a glass water bottle. This helped me a lot during all that sickness. I wanted to change everything from plastic to glass. Not that that was always a goal of mine anyways, but now that I'm pregnant, I really want to have everything just glass. So I also got this on Amazon. I'll link it. Since I also started showing early, I started using leggings a lot sooner once I realized that my high-waisted jeans were not going to do it. So I'll link also those on my Amazon storefront, as well as bras. I had to use different bras right away. It's crazy the way that your body changes so quickly too. It's amazing. But yeah, the girls were growing, and I needed to get bras that did not have any wiring, I didn't want anything under, because because I hate that. I hate bras, period. I hated them before getting pregnant. So I was trying to look on Amazon for some, but I needed to feel the bras. I needed to see them. And I'm not looking for nursing bras yet. I'll probably get those on Amazon, but I was just looking for maternity bras, ones that were comfortable and seamless. And I found them at Target. So I'm going to show a clip of me after I purchased them, because I don't have them with me right now. I'm washing them and I'm wearing one of them. There was a time where I looked at my closet and I was like super sad, because I was like, I can't wear anything anymore. I can't wear anything that I have. So I've been on the journey to get some nice clothes and comfy clothes for my pregnancy, because that's another thing that you go through. You're like, how am I already not able to fit so many of the things that I used to fit? But yeah, so there's so much that I'm looking forward to exploring when it comes to pregnancy, when it comes to my health and wellness during pregnancy. And I'm really excited to share it with you guys. I also really wanted to get out the fact that my pregnancy has really been hard, because I feel like a lot of people don't share when their pregnancy has been hard, and they make it look really easy and look all glam, and it's beautiful, and it is beautiful. It's glam. It's all of that. It's primitive. It's natural. You feel like you are literally a part of Mother Nature. We already are, but you feel it even more when you're pregnant. You're like, wow, like I am a part of whatever everything else is. Like, this is crazy. I'm reproducing just like nature has done for all these years, and you're just a part of that. Like, it's beautiful. But it comes with its really like tough times, and my plan is to do all of this, natural and unmedicated as much as possible. And that's what I'm doing. So that was my first trimester. Please let me know if you have any stories down below of your first trimester. I would love to hear them. As soon as I shared on my Instagram that my pregnancy has been super tough and hard, that's when a bunch of moms started saying, like, I'm pregnant women were like, yeah, I have like never had this many colds in my life, and I've been so sick, and I'm like, dang, why y'all didn't say there's anything before? Like, y'all just have in here like a little picture with your bump, but you don't say nothing, that it's hard. You got people thinking that it's easy. No, I'm kidding. But like, it's good to share this stuff. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so down below. Like I said, let's talk down below, share some stories. I would love to hear about other first trimester stories and about other mamas out there and what they've been going through. Yeah, everything will be linked down below. My Amazon storefront. I have a free grocery list guide that you can download to know what organic foods to get at the grocery store that are approved by me. And you'll find a couple other things down there. So anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video.